What's up? It's me again, your king. I am Legacy. Welcome back. We are on part 3 of the 7-part series, and today's topic is discipline of self-love. All right, so I'm going to be talking about that, and the anime that I'm going to be referring to throughout my talking points is going to be Naruto. And we're going to focus on Naruto Uzumaki, the main character of Naruto, and how he embodies this factor of life, this truth of life, this knowledge to have discipline of self-love. All right. Now, before I get into discipline of self-love, there's a word in here that we need to define. We need to break down. And if you've seen part 1 and part 2, you know what I'm about to ask you. All right. What is discipline? Now, when many people get asked this question, the first thing they always think of is like punishment. Getting punished, getting, whatever, however your parents punished you. Some people got whooped, some people got grounded, some people got things taken away. Whatever way your parents parented you to teach you discipline, that's how they do it. However, I want to focus on the first part of the definition of discipline, right? And it's training to obey rules or a code of behavior, right? So when you don't follow or obey those rules or follow that code of behavior, that's when you get a punishment. And that's supposed to discipline you to stay in line, right? But I really want us to focus on the training that happens before you get that punishment to instill that discipline. Okay? So take that with you, right? The training to obey rules or a code of behavior. That's how I'm going to define discipline, and that's how I'm going to refer to it as I talk more about the discipline of self-love. All right? Cool. So, the first point when talking about discipline of self-love is, I'm going to write this one in blue, overcoming negative self-perceptions. You ever thought something about yourself based off what somebody told you? Or based off what you saw in someone who looked like you, or based off what you heard somebody else say about someone who was close to you, right? Those things shape our self perception, right? They shape our inner voice. And if you hear enough negative things about yourself or about the people around you or the environment that you're in, you will develop a negative self perception, right? You will think less of yourself than what you actually are. And the cool part about Naruto, right? And what we know about Naruto Uzumaki and the story of Naruto, he was sort of, how would I say it? He wasn't possessed, but he was given the power to, or a better way to say it is like a giant demon, the most strongest demon monster in the story, was sealed inside of him, and he was entrusted with learning how to control that power. But because on the day of his birth, the giant demon like ravaged his village, right? Mind you, he's like an hour old, and it ravaged his village. And because everybody knew that this monster was sealed inside of him, they thought negatively of him, right? They shunned him from society. They pushed him away. They talked down to him. They didn't let their kids play with him, right? Kind of sounds familiar depending on what culture you come from, right? We've experienced that too. In a way, it was like racism in a way, um, right? And they cast that judgment upon him. And he could have fallen into that perception that people had of him and developed a negative self perception, but he didn't, right? Instead, he had his own judgment of himself, right? He had his own perception of himself based off the dreams that he had into who he wanted to become, right? So I want to write down a quote for y'all before I keep going. Okay. This is something that I heard a while ago from a wise elder in my family, right? Uh, sorry. But it is, right? The only one who can judge you is yourself and God. And there's something deeper about that last part, it being yourself and God, but I won't get into that today, right? The only one who can judge you is yourself and God. The judgment you cast upon yourself is the most powerful judgment that you can ever receive, right? No other judgment from no other thing, no other person, no other being on this planet, on this earth, in this existence matters. But the judgment you have on yourself does, right? Because that helps shapes your self perception. So if Naruto had believed that he was a burden to society, right? If he was a pariah, that he was a demon based off what was entrusted in him to fulfill his destiny, if he accepted that judgment and cast it upon himself, we would have had a totally different story, right? We would have had a totally different anime, and it probably wouldn't be as popular as it is now because it's about redemption. It's about overcoming the odds, right? It's about overcoming the negative self perception, right? So I leave that quote with y'all. The only one who can judge you is yourself and God. Okay? I got another one. All right. Now, this quote was said by an American sociologist, Charles Cooley. Sorry, Charles Cooley. I'll write this one in black. It goes, I am not what I think I am, and I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. Crazy. It's a lot of I think, you think, we think, who think. Okay. But it all boils down to whatever I perceive myself to be is what I am. Right? Going back to Naruto. It wasn't that, it wasn't about what he did not think he was. Oh, I'm not the demon. I'm not the nine-tailed fox. I'm not a pariah. I'm not this. I'm not that. Right? It wasn't about what other people thought he was. You're the bane of the existence. You're the worst person here. Don't play with my kids. We hate you. You're going to destroy our village one day. That's what they all thought about him. But it was about what he thought, they thought he was. And so he comes up with his Nindo, right? Which is their word for like your motto, your saying, your way of life, right? Their ninja way. And his Nindo was to never go back on his word, right? So you have that. That's his Nindo. That's his thing that keeps him moving, that keeps him going. He never goes back on his word. Then he has his dream, his thought of himself, the thing that he thought other people will think he is. And he goes, I'm going to be the next Hokage. Right? And if you never watched Naruto, Hokage is equivalent to like the president. Um, and he is part of the Leaf Village, which is like the strongest village in the story. So he wants to be the top ninja in the strongest village in the world. And that's what he pursued. He never went back on that word. He thought it so much that he believed other people thought that could become that thing too. And that's how he overcame those negative self perceptions, right? So I'm going to say this quote one more time. I am not what I think I am, and I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. Okay? All right? Dive more deeper into that. All right? And this quote that I just erased from Charles Cooley is just an expanded version of what's in the Bible, right? In Exodus 3, 7 through 8, 13 through 14, we hear God say this to Moses. Moses asks God, what do I tell him that you are? When he's telling him what to do, giving him all these things, these commands, and he goes, well, what do I say when they ask me who you are? where these words come from. God says, I am that I am. Right? And this quote resonates with me on so many different levels. It's helped me move through so many things and deepen my belief in myself and strengthen my discipline within myself and mold that self love that I have now, that I've cultivated, that I'm trying to share and explain to you all right now. I am that I am, right? I am. I am. That's all we are. You just are. You just am. There is nothing more to it. You am whatever you think you are, whatever you want to be, whatever you choose to be. That's what you are. Whatever you create is what you are. Whatever you thought is what you are. Whatever you do is what you are. Right? So just like Naruto said, I'm going to be the next Hokage. That was him. He said, I am that. I am the next Hokage. And he just led with it. He just let it circulate, resonate in his life. So whatever it is that you dream to be, tell yourself this. Remember this scripture. If the other one was too long, because it was a lot of thinks and what thinks and I thinks, and it can get confusing. But this one is just simplified. Is I am that. I am. Okay? Whatever you believe you are. Dancer, singer, rapper, millionaire, president, astronaut, astrophysicist, stylist. I don't know. There's so many things you could be. Me, y'all hear me say, hey, it's your king here. I am legacy. Because I am that. I'm a king. Right? I am that. And I believe it. And I'm going to stand on it. That's my word. That's my nindo. That's my ninja way. All right? Okay? So let's go on to the next point, right? Now that we know how to overcome the negative self perception, right? Through believing in ourselves, knowing that no judgment cast upon us can prosper, right? Can't go forward unless we give it the authority, we give it the jurisdiction to have reign over our lives, right? Unless I think what you think I am is true, it ain't true. It ain't true at all. So then we have to do this, right? We have to set boundaries for our growth. So I'm going to write that on the board for us, right? Growth. Set boundaries for your growth, right? Going back to the definition of discipline, training to obey rules or a code of behavior. That's this right here. There's boundaries. When you step outside those boundaries, you are subject to punishment, right? And that's where the other form of discipline kicks in. But you set boundaries. Don't allow people to come into your life and change your perception of who you are. Don't allow them to come and deter you off the path that you have paved for yourself. Don't allow them to turn your dream into a nightmare because they can't see your vision. Don't let them blind you with the darkness that they carry. Instead, we got to shine our light on them and help them through whatever it is that they are going through, right? Remember in part 2, we talked about communicating with compassion. Sometimes we got to speak life into those people that are trying to deter us off our path. That's how we set that boundary. Yeah. I know you're having a bad day, but guess what? I'm having a great day. And I would just want to share that with you and want you to know that you can have a great day too. And I hope that I can be a light in your darkness, right? Be a lighthouse to somebody. Set some boundaries. Okay? Going back to Naruto's, his ninja way, his nindo. Never go back on your word, right? Never go back on your word. Whatever you say, you are, believe in it. Stay true to it. Pursue it. All right? And the other part, right? This one right here. Once we set boundaries, how are we growing? How is that growth happening? How is it measured? What steps are you going to take? What skills are you going to grow? What are you pursuing? Right? Naruto trained relentlessly to reach his goal of becoming the Hokage. Even before that, it wasn't about becoming a Hokage. It was about becoming a ninja that represents the dream that he had within himself of being the strongest ninja in the Leaf Village. Right? So you have to train relentlessly to improve your skills. Right? I can think back to just like 3 years ago, 3, 4 years ago, I was skinny. I was bald. I didn't wear glasses, right? I didn't have this confidence in myself. I would have never stepped in front of this camera and started speaking to you guys about these things that I learned. I just kept it to myself, right? Real insecure, real scared of the world. But I had this dream, right? I had this dream and this vision of who I am, of who I wanted to be, right? And that person that I saw is who I am standing in front of you right now, speaking to you, right? I had locks, I had long hair. I saw myself wearing glasses. I saw myself with a beard, with facial hair. I saw myself with muscles, right? Confident, wearing watches and rings and jewelry. Confident, as I said in the beginning, a king. Saw myself as that. And so I trained. I trained relentlessly to become this person, right? I went to the gym, right? I started studying about myself through YouTube videos, through mentors in my community, through reading books, through having reflective conversations with people that are close to me, right? Through journaling and just sitting and thinking to myself and asking myself questions about who I want to be and how I'm going to get there, right? These are all training. These are all ways to develop my skills, right? This is all discipline, right? I'm laying down these rules for myself. Okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm not going to go here anymore. I'm not going to let that happen, right? I'm making these boundaries. I'm forming this code of behavior for who I should be. All right, next time, whenever I see somebody, I'm going to say hi. No matter what they do, I'm going to thank them for it, right? I'm creating, shaping this behavior so that I can grow into this person that I am today. And some of y'all are really close. Y'all really close. Y'all see who you are. You see who you want to be. It's in your dreams. You feel it in your heart, and you're walking this earth, and you're just like, why don't it feel right? Why doesn't it make sense? It's probably because you need to set some boundaries for your growth, right? So you can begin to nourish and advance that skill of discipline for yourself to love. All right. And also with setting boundaries, you got to protect yourself. Protect yourself. Protect your emotions. Protect your mentality. Protect your vision, right? Protect yourself, not just physically. Protect your heart. Protect your dreams. Like I was saying before, hey, you're not going to come and bring that darkness up in here, right? Don't let people rain on your parade. Bring an umbrella everywhere you go. So you see somebody raining, you like, nice to meet you. I hope you have a great day. And you keep on moving, right? Don't stay too long around those who don't have the discipline of self love, right? We got to show them better than we can tell them, right? So I'm telling you, go out there and show them because you're doing it already. I know you are. That's why you're here listening, right? You just need a confirmation. Okay. All right. All right. My director Khalil, he back there. He feeling it. He feeling it all. All right. Part 3. We don't want red. Not yet. Point number 3. Point number 3. Now, if I spell something wrong, don't do me shady. Okay. There's no autocorrect here. I'm just sounding it out like I was taught in school. Be persistent. Right. Never give up. Be persistent, be consistent, right? Consistent is doing something frequently enough so that it becomes a routine. Persistence is doing it despite the challenges that life brings. That's a bar. I'm rapping on y'all. All right? So be persistent. Never give up. Keep doing it. Keep pushing, keep striving, keep pushing through, right? Break through the surface, right? A plant does not stop when the dirt gets too hard to go through. When it's breaking out of that seed, it persists. It keeps going until it reaches the light, right? Because it knows that that's what it's destined to see. Okay, so you keep going until you reach the light because that's what you are destined to see. That light is your dream. That light is your vision. That light is when you close your eyes and you see that person walking, smiling, being free, living his best life. As I say, being a king, right? That's hey, I keep pushing till I get closer and closer to that, right? So, what's your word? What's your nindo? What's your ninja way? What's your path to your desired reality? What do you tell yourself every day? Do you say I am that I am? Or do you say the long one, which I am not what I think, blah, blah, blah. I am what I think. Which one do you say? Right? Be persistent. Yeah? I'm going to give y'all another verse. I'm going to write it right underneath. Okay? This one right here. Habakkuk 2:2. Right? Write the vision. Make it plain upon tables so that he who reads it will run to it. What's your vision? Make it simple. Mine is to be a king, right? Mine is to be on this video, talking to you, motivating you, inspiring you. Simple. Wrote it down so that people that I share it with, they can help me run to it, right? And I got people in this room helping me run to that dream right now. So be persistent. Make it simple. All right? Make it simple. Naruto's was very simple. I never go back on my word, and I'm going to be the next Hokage. It's easy. I never go back on my word, and I'm going to be the next Hokage. And he will punch through anybody who is in that way of becoming the next Hokage. So, yeah, I think that's my 5 minutes.
Keeps going.
You just gave me 5.
Yeah, but I mean, you got 2 more minutes. You got 3 more minutes. I mean, if you...
Let's stop it.